1. We'll create the agent responsible for powering the cards on our dashboard. We'll name this agent Fetch Claim Stats, since it will be responsible for fetching all the statistical data displayed on the cards. For the description, we'll write something like agent to fetch overall claim statistics, including total claims, approved claims, under review claims, and total claim amount for dashboard display. Once we fill in the name and description, we click on the Create button. This takes us to the Agent Builder section. Here, we have access to a wide range of nodes, which we can use to define the logic of our agent. These nodes can be dragged and dropped to visually create the entire flow of data processing and response. Now we're all set to start designing the logic of this agent using the available nodes. Since this agent is responsible for fetching data to show on the count cards, we need to form a query that will get us information from the claims table. Our first node is the Select Rows node. We drag it onto the canvas and click on it to configure. Now, there are two ways to build your query here. Either you can write the SQL manually, or you can use the design mode, which provides a UI to construct the query. Let's use the design mode for now. First, we select the table we want data from, which is the claims table. From this table, we'll get two key things: the total number of claims and the total claim amount. So next, we select the required columns. In our case, the ID column for counting the claims and the claim amount column for summing the total amount. After selecting the columns, we apply aggregation functions. We apply count on the ID to get the number of claims and sum on the claim amount column to get the total amount claimed. It's important to set proper aliases for these values, as these aliases will help us refer to the data easily in the rest of the application. Make sure not to use any spaces or special characters in the alias. If we want to apply filters, we can use the where clause available right below. Group by options are also available in case we want to group our data. Now comes an important part. Whatever output we get from this query, we need to store it somewhere so we can later access it in our app. For that, we use variables. To create a variable, we go to the top of the canvas and click the Variable button. This opens the Variable panel, where you'll see two tabs: System Variables and User Variables. System variables are built-in read-only variables provided by the platform. For example, sysuserMobNumber holds the mobile number of the logged-in user. We can use it for any condition or logic, but we can't change or override it. On the other hand, user variables are variables we create ourselves. These are modifiable and can hold any value that we define in our flow. Since we need to store the output of our SQL query, we'll create a user variable. We'll give it a name, again, no special characters or spaces, and select the type as list, because our query will return a list of results. Once the variable is created, we go back to the Select Rows node and scroll down to the Output Mapping section. Here, we map the output of the node to the variable we just created. There are three output options: Select Rows, which holds the actual data from the query, Number of rows, to tell us how many rows the query returned, and Status, which tells whether the query was successful. In our case, we only need the data, so we map Select Rows to our variable. Now, before saving, let's preview the generated query. On the top right of the query section, there's a button called Show Query. Click on it, and you'll see the final SQL query. One important note here is that every table name in the query is prefixed with your subscription ID, which acts as your default schema name. So, while writing SQL manually, make sure to prefix your table names with the sys subscription ID variable. Once everything looks good, we can switch to query mode and test the query. You'll see the SQL code already written in the editor. Click the Test button to run it. You can also add a limit to control how much data is shown. On testing, you'll see the result that matches our expectation: total claims and total claim amount. That means the node is configured correctly. We now save the node, and with that, we've completed our first query for the card agent. Query